Hi, it's me, Andrzej. After testing the BMW S1000RR, a test that was supposed to blow my mind and make it so that nothing would ever be the same again, that's not the case. However, I still think this motorcycle can really shake things up again. Why isn't my mind blown? And why am I not jumping around here and not as hyped as I can be when it comes to motorcycles? Well, mainly because we just didn't get enough riding time. We had 2 sessions on street tires on Bridgestone S21S. That was just a warm-up. And then we basically had 2 sessions on slicks. And in my opinion, that's definitely not enough to really get to know a machine like the BMW. What we know now is the engine. The engine is just as crushing as what they did with the GS. Thanks to that, the quick shifter from the inside has massive pull. There's already about 100 Newton meters from 5,000 RPM. And then it goes up to a maximum of 114. At the moment when the shift cam at 9,000 RPM moves the camshaft, changes the cam profiles, and the valve operates at the same height, which I learned today, but opens just a bit at a different time. The engine simply delivers everything. It's got brilliantly. When you ride it, you're not overwhelmed by the power because you already have this incredible feeling of acceleration inside, and then it just keeps building up smoothly. So there's never a moment when you're suddenly scared by what's happening, but once it revs up, it just goes. And suddenly you realize it still has a bit more revs left. And it keeps going and going. Honestly, the engine in this machine is a powerhouse. In my opinion, inline-four still hold their own. The same goes for the gearbox, and the quick shifting gears back and forth here is honestly a real pleasure. You also know that here you can very easily reverse the gear pattern. There are a lot of clever solutions. And the downshifting is amazing. I just really like that. When it comes to the handling itself, this is already a bit of a different BMW than before because the previous one was so incredibly stable, so glued to the asphalt that it was unbelievable. And every amateur was just thrilled. And so was I, by the way. How easy, how stable, how safe you felt on that motorcycle when leaned over. Here, it's still okay, but there's a bit more life added to it. You still feel more confident. If you're riding at a dynamic pace, you feel confident, but the moment you start to push it, things finally start to happen. We feel the front suspension a bit more. We can load up the front end. The motorcycle is able to tighten its line. It's really a very pleasant feeling, but remember that it comes at a price, which is a slight instability, and that instability appeared when I wasn't handling the motorcycle perfectly. So for example, if I hit the brakes too hard, it would get a bit unstable. For instance, if I didn't open the throttle perfectly or entered the corner a bit wrong, something could immediately happen. What else? Right? Since I'm already talking about braking, I have to accessory. But in my opinion, if you're making such an advanced motorcycle and putting in so much work, it's unimaginable to me that you wouldn't pay enough attention to the issue of brake fade. It's a very demanding track. On the straight, we were going over 290 kilometers per hour, then braking downhill. And I started with the lever set to 6, the farthest position, so I had to reach quite far. And then it started to drop on us. In the end, I had to use my whole hand just to be able to brake effectively. It's a standard problem with practically all motorcycles equipped with ABS. I mean, pretty much all the ones we have now. There are just too many cables here. Manufacturers still can't quite manage to deal with this issue. Either way, for racing, you have to get rid of the ABS and install plastic brake lines. Alternatively, you could try experimenting a bit with the brake fluid or the pads. Things. Besides that, the electronics, honestly, we just didn't get to know it here because there simply wasn't enough time to play around with it a bit. What's nice now is that when we turn it on, we have a menu, and finally we have a race mode. It's split into Race Pro 1, 2, and 3, so you can set up 3 different maps for yourself, and there you can adjust engine braking, how the traction control should work, what kind of engine characteristics you want in terms of throttle response. There are many things we can set up and personalize, and I know it will definitely work great once we figure it out. At first glance, the interface looks complicated, but I've already seen how the guys were using it. You can really get the hang of it very quickly. Semi-active suspension. Here on the track, the engineers claim that under track conditions, in race 1 mode, in 90% of cases, the suspension is in fixed mode, meaning it behaves the same way every time. It no longer bothers with semi-active real-time adjustments of everything. Apparently, that's feedback from people who ride very fast, that at high speeds it's not necessary, and they're moving away from it a bit. Besides, at first the suspension was a bit soft, it swayed us a little, Later, during the next session, we kicked it a bit and it was immediately better. Is it possible at this point to reach a setting that allows you to ride really, really, really fast? I don't know. More testing is needed with this motorcycle. What else can I say? I can say a lot because there are really, really, really a lot of details here. And you know what? I'll talk about it fully in the magazine. And I think that's it. But there's something very, very interesting. Listen, there's a chance for us to ride this motorcycle together and check out how it performs together. 7th, 8th of May, BMW RR Days at the BRNO circuit. The official announcement has already gone out that I'm going there, and we're going to organize a fun crew from Poland, so it's really a great idea to get together, go to BRNO, and keep discovering this motorcycle together. Because honestly, I just feel like it's not enough for me. That's why, damn, I'm not jumping around here, not doing tricks or stunts, because I haven't even had time to pop wheelies on this bike the way I like. So there's still a lot of time ahead of me to really get to know this machine. What I know at this point is that it really has a chance to once again be the fastest production motorcycle when it comes to lap times. I can't wait to test that out. That's all. Take care and see you next time.